We're here at Case School of Music today with guitar instructor Jesse Christen. We're going to talk about Jesse's latest project, the CD, Gate of Charity. Jesse, why don't you tell us a little bit about that project?
It was something that, you mean how it came about, or?
Yeah, kind of give us some background on the project and how you got started.
People have taught me for years that I should make my own CD, and I've always been more of a live player because I like the spontaneity of it. Even with bands, I don't ever see the point in excessive rehearsals, because by the time you do that, the music gets stale, which I don't like. I like a lot of spontaneity. Mm-hmm. I like every time you play something to kind of I guess, take its own character, whether it's a song you wrote or a song by some, a cover song you're doing. Let the song take its own character with whoever the group of musicians you are. Yeah, so it's been hard to find people who share my vision for recording, because I've never had the budget to hire, a whole bunch of people to just go and just let it rip in the studio. This started with a couple friends of mine, a guy named Carl Holloman who played drums, and then a guy named Tom McGovern who played bass. I've known for years and years. We just started with the three of us goofing around down in the basement, and what are we going to play? And it turned into, well, let's try this. And there are songs that I had written. Some of the ideas for some of the songs date back to when I was 16 years old, but a lot of them were just, I'd have an idea and we'd just kind of build an arrangement, and usually we'd knock about a song out a night. We're so fortunate that Carl, the drummer, has a really nice Pro Tools set up in his basement that we were able to do it with. I mean, it was really quite easy.
So where did you record these? You're talking about
Vibe Studios, which is the fancy name for Carl's basement.
And where is this located?
He's just in Sioux Falls.
In Sioux Falls. So how long did it take you guys from beginning to end for this project, to the conception of the songs to the actual recording?
Yeah, probably once we decided that this was the route that we were going to go. So first we would just get together and I guess just have a jam, really, and just I guess there are a few songs we kind of got some ideas just from some stuff that we just kind of, things I'd throw out and we'd play and just record it on a little Zoom recorder, just like the one we're using here. But by the time we really got rolling, it didn't take that long. I think we started right around the first of the year, maybe. Mm-hmm. I suppose. I think there was one we might have had done before that. It's kind of our test run. Probably, I think, was it early May? We got a lot done right away, and then this year spring hit, so we kind of got slowed down a lot. We had that big ice storm and stuff. Bass player works. He's one of the heads of golf course maintenance at one of the country clubs. So there was many weeks where he was busy, so we had to call some off. And then we'd have the occasional week where people were rather busy with family or vacations. We didn't get anything done. But yeah, for the most part, we did get together about once a week, and we'd usually knock out about a song a night. A few times we did two.
And when did you send the CD off to, I guess, to be pressed
Just a few weeks ago.
just a few weeks ago. Now, for our
Probably about the
students,
beginning of the month, I think.
for our students at Case School of Music, I'm sure that they would like to know about that process. Like, where did you send? What was the name of the company that you sent your masters out to, and for them to press the CDs? And
Disc Masters. It's actually quite easy. If you got some good MP3 files, are slightly computer savvy, and have a credit card, you can have your CD in a couple weeks. It's pretty reasonable too.
yeah, they are. They're very reasonable.
They did a beautiful job. If we can't see, I can see the beautiful cover art. It was a painting by a friend of mine who's not only an incredible painter, but a great guitar player too.
I was going to ask you about that. It's quite interesting artwork on the front of the CD. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
A friend of mine in Sioux City named John Bartle. He's a guitar player and he's a painter. And it's an original oil painting he did. Most of his paintings are kind of in the Salvador Dali vein like that. He's a great guy.
Some of the songs, the title piece, Gate of Charity, are there like any interesting stories about any of the songs, any particular connections to any of the songs that you'd like to share with us?
Most of them I just wrote. I didn't title most of them, but the Gate of Charity is one that I titled. And this is really a long story, but kind of a silly one. It was a song that I wrote and had no title for it. And it has two sections. The first section, for all you music theory people out there, it's based around using a Phrygian mode that's based off a harmonic minor scale. So you have the Middle Eastern Arabic scale, and then the B section's like the bossa nova. Watching public TV of all places, and they had Rick Steve's Europe travels, and he was took a vacation in Spain, the Strait of Gibraltar, and then he also went over to Morocco, which is only a few miles apart. And I thought, Middle East, Latin group, it's just like that show, just like that part of the world. And Gate of Charity is the Arabic name. I believe it was Bab El Ghazat, is what it is in Arabic, that translates to Gate of Charity. It's their name for Strait of Gibraltar.
Tell us a little bit about your playing in the area. Do you play with any particular bands? Do you have a particular group that you play regularly with?
I have my band, the Blues Bashers.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Blues Bashers?
Ooh, we've been doing that for like 5 years now, I think. At least that long, maybe longer. That's a band that consists of myself and Bobby Berge on drums, who, out of all the people I've ever played with, has done a lot of like kind of big name stuff in the past. It's always been me and him, and we've had countless other bass players and keyboard players and other musicians. We just played Jazz Fest. We had a bass player, Brian Masek, played bass. Our most frequent collaborators, we have a guy named Terry Brooks, who plays keyboards and does the left-hand bass. See some of our other members, we've had Sam Irish, David Napier, Oh man, there's a few others too. So after 5 years, you go through a lot of people.
Are there any particular venues that you guys play regularly in the Sioux Falls area?
Not a lot. There's not. I don't know if there's really that many places to play regularly here. You know, it's a smaller city, I guess. So if you play too much, I think people get burnt out on seeing you anyway. So I used to be a lot more aggressive about trying to book myself more, but now I kind of let them come to me. It seems to work good, this band that way. I just started playing with a country western guy named Justin Haig, who's had some, his last album, I mean, he had a video that got airplay on like GAC, and I think CMT may have showed it once or twice. It's on YouTube, Justin Haig, Haigh. He's very good, and it's something a little different for me, but which I guess I like, because even though it doesn't matter what kind of music you like, if you want to get real good, you should learn to play all styles of music, whether it's your thing or not, because you're always going to learn something from it. The best musical advice I ever got was from the organ player Joey DeFrancesco, who's like the king of the B3, like in the world probably about right now. But he said, he goes, it's easy to play music you like, because if you want to get really good, find a song you hate and learn to play it, but learn to play it in a way that makes you like it. So never limit yourself.
Good advice. You're a teacher, a guitar instructor at Case School of Music. You've actually been teaching guitar for a number of years. With that background and those years of experience, what advice would you give to someone wanting to learn to play guitar?
Don't stop playing. Play as much as you can, even if you don't have a teacher at the time. I mean, or anything to learn from. Play. I mean, if you make a noise you like, make it twice. Learn how to make that same noise in a different spot. Because I grew up in a smaller town, and the only guitar teacher we had moved after I had a couple months of lessons, if it was even that long. So I had to take the few things I knew and try to figure out how to apply them. And I like listen to records and slide the few chords around until every once in a while I get one right. The other advice I have is finding someone you can study with can make you grow in leaps and bounds, because you know, a lot of people tell you it's like, well, I learned to play on my own or by ear, which even if you take lessons from someone, you have to do that on your own.
Right.
But you can save yourself a lot of time because really a teacher is like a good coach. You can save you a lot of times banging your head against the wall, or having someone watch you play, give you ideas on techniques, or you know, just help you break down the walls when it comes to learning, like, you know, things like scales or any kind of music theory. I mean, that kind of stuff can really get you going by leaps and bounds. So I was very fortunate I found someone who so I went from having to teach myself for a number of years to when I was like around 16, I found someone who was a pretty good teacher and kind of steered me in the right direction. So I think it was a win-win. He didn't have to teach me, this is how you play a G chord, and it was a win for me too, because I was able to grow very rapidly in a short period of time.
Folks will hear a little bit of your CD today as part of this interview. If they're interested in purchasing a copy, how can they get a copy of your CD?
You could send $10 plus $2.50, that's $12.50 altogether, to Vibe Studio, P.O. Box 214, Harrisburg, South Dakota 57032. Or message me on Facebook. I'm one of the few Jesse Christians, Christen. I'm very easy to find. Or just contact someone through the school here. They'll steer you in the right direction.
That's caseschoolofmusic.com. Jesse, it's been great having you in today and interviewing you and talking about your project. And we look forward to future interviews. Thanks again.